Could you tell us a bit about a difficult or interesting time in your career, and including any advice you might pass on to your younger self?
Yeah, look, probably the most difficult time in my career was when I transitioned from the consulting business in Melbourne back into the mining industry. And I suppose the process of dissolving the partnership, letting people know that I was headed back and I suppose away from the industry, and also the fact that I think I gave around 6 months worth of notice that was how it was going to work. All the learnings that I got out of that, the experience wasn't pleasant. The people I worked with, I don't think necessarily acted in good faith. And the learnings that I had from that, really, the advice I'd love someone to have given me was to not take that all personally. It was a lot of money for me at the time. It was just about all that I had. And I ended up losing pretty much most of that through that process. And what it did to me personally really was probably the hardest part of that. The money's not necessarily an important factor, but the self-esteem, the fact that I took most of that personally, really sort of put me into a place where I wasn't overly comfortable. And the advice there is really around, that don't take that personally. It's something that happens in business, but also to make sure you've always got a way or an exit strategy or a clear way of resolving conflict and differences of opinion, because that was something I went into that arrangement without having done that. And so the exit strategy, or the way in which we would sort of finish or leave the business, wasn't clearly defined at the beginning. And really, if I was to go into partnerships again on any sort of venture, regardless of whether I think the person's a friend or otherwise, to really clearly define, if something doesn't work out how we thought, how are we going to finish this off? And then also, it's not personal, it really is business. It's just how that works. But that was something that I suppose I learnt through that experience and use that now.
Yeah, exit strategies are always an important thing in business, knowing what they are, and it's not an easy thing to do when you're with the view that you're getting together and putting a group of people together that, we're going to plan what the exit is. So
yeah, no, that's right. And it's an uncomfortable conversation, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it can be, but it can also be, with help, it's not too bad. So it's interesting.
No, it's one best had without emotion.
Exactly, and at that stage, most people can do it without the emotion because you're all thinking it's going to work. So
yeah, it's a theoretical conversation rather than, hey, this is really happening.
Yeah, so very good.